So have you ever stumbled upon a place or person who held a mystery so mysterious that it baffled you to the point where you decided, today I want to become a detective. A detective so useless that the mystery you found like 5 years ago you still haven't solved? Well, don't worry, we have all been at that point at one stage with Skyrim. There is many unsolved mysteries in Skyrim, like why sweet rolls are so important to the guards. So how about we put on our thinking hats and start doing a bit of old solving in Skyrim today. Mike, let's go boy. I have put the most interesting at number 2 and 1 and the less ones down here, but they are all interesting in some way. But at number 5 we are going to start with a good old imperial friend, Rune from the Thieves Guild, the one that we all can't help but have a soft spot for when discussing interesting Tamriel topics with, like where Rune actually came from. While a lot of people across Skyrim will accept being abandoned as a child or whatnot, Rune is very different. As a child he washed up on the shores of Solitude after a shipwreck where he was discovered by a fisherman. The fisherman found him near a rock with strange writing on it and decided to give him his name that way. And that's all we know about Rune and his upbringing. He has spent forever trying to figure out his origins. The only next little bit of evidence we have for anything is a note he has from Atel Newberry, titled No Word Yet, which indicates that not even someone good at finding people was able to do so. So where could Rune possibly have come from? Well, many players have gone out of their way to search for answers to this mystery. I personally feel that the best way to even consider trying to help Rune would be to start by scouring the Solitude waters and shores, although it would be pointless due to nobody knowing what part of the shore Rune was discovered at. There was also the key factor to consider that he washed up after a shipwreck. Maybe somewhere undiscovered is the ship that he came from, but again, to this day, there has been nothing discovered. Skyrim has been out for nearly 6 years, and a lot of people play and explore this game, so if there are answers for Rune's backstory out there somewhere, they are either well hidden or unfortunately became one of Bethesda's forgotten quests to finish. Next, we have our good old friend the Headless Horseman. Most of us have seen this ghostly figure roaming the paths of Skyrim at one point or another. For those of you who haven't, you could look for him between 10 PM and 4 AM. He will spawn at a random location around Skyrim, but if you want to ensure finding him, head to Hanvir's Rest. No matter where he spawns, he will have a tendency to travel to this location. He won't fight you or anything like that. Sometimes he might spawn off the horse and be chasing behind it. He's just a cool ghost who roams the roads of Skyrim. Now, more than likely the Headless Horseman is just an Easter egg thrown into Skyrim by Bethesda, but let's do a bit of speculating because we're cool. So on Hanvir's Rest, skeletons and a Draugr will be there to fight you, guarding a master level chest. The area is just a graveyard, and next to one of these graveyards is an axe and a helmet, maybe referring to our good old friend since he is wearing armor all over his body. But that's a tiny thing to consider, which probably isn't true. The most likely candidate for this ghost is actually of the long dead Ragnar the Red. Assuming you have all heard of the song that the Insigners sing away, the mention of Ragnar the Red who is heading to Old Rorikstead, and then at the end of the song his head is chopped off. Well, the ghost is technically on the road to Rorikstead, so could it be? So the great collapse of Winterhold. We have all been to the tiny little place known as Winterhold and seen about 3 houses, a shop, an inn, and then the mighty college standing atop its place a bit further away out. So for those of you who don't know what the great collapse of Winterhold was, it was a series of heavy and dangerous storms which caused the buildings in Winterhold to erode down alarmingly quick and end up washed into the sea of ghosts way down below the mountain. The strange thing about this event is how the college of Winterhold remained completely untouched. Due to this, the college was to blame for what happened, because why is it the storms didn't go anywhere near it? The college defends itself, saying it was effects caused by the eruption of Red Mountain. Now, even though Red Mountain erupted 100 years before the Great Collapse, it was said that the effects just didn't happen to kick in until later on. I personally believe that between the Archmage and the other magic users, could they not have kept the college up themselves like they are the College of Winterhold? They hold immense power. But after speculation stated that the Augur of Dunlane might have had something to do with the collapse, since the massive orb of light was sitting silently under the college. His immense power is due to the collapse overall, so maybe there was some sort of plot, but who knows? So one of the most mysterious mysteries to ever be in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. What are bugs in a jar for? Seriously, what are these things? Who is using them? What is the purpose? To look at, to hold and watch? To use for a personal alchemy project of some sorts? To keep as your pet, where you then proceed to name said insect in a jar Steve? We have 5 different jars across Skyrim. We have the butterfly, dragonfly, bee, moth, and torchbug. Under each lid of the jars, there's actually some runes that maybe when put together will form some kind of satanic ritual thing. These jars obviously have a higher meaning to them. They can't be broken due to their indestructible nature. They are obviously gods. Dropping them down a waterfall seems to have no effect. Each passing day I have the jar sitting next to me, I feel a small bit of myself disappearing forever. What could these jars mean? I spoke to my friend Maik, but he was obviously intimidated by the raw power of the butterfly in a jar. I showed Jodie saw my bee today, she died. I decided after a lot of good thought that it was better I sell the jars to Bellator. He was happy to take them. I feel relieved now knowing that it is somebody else's turn to try and figure out what these jars might be able to do. I can walk out a white one, a free man now. So for the very last mystery, we have the mystery to end all mysteries. A mystery so unsolved that it made Mike retire from the detective business. This mystery has been the cause of many strenuous deaths. A death count so high. Well, look at the population of Skyrim. It's obviously smaller, right? That's because so many people died looking into this mystery. This mystery, it takes place in Whiterun. Within Whiterun, it takes place in Bellator's goods shop. I'm scared. And within the shop, it takes place with Bellator. The mystery is, would Bellator really sell his sister? So in a quick thought-of process, judging by Bellator's tone, we can accurately conduct the evidence that Bellator is very fake. He is what they call in today's world a female dog. Upon exiting Bellator's speech, no matter what chosen, he will look at you and say his famous, "Do come back," ever so snarky. He sounds condescending. If we go and look up the correct dictionary term for condescending, we can see that it says to having or showing an attitude of patronizing superiority. Bellator thinks he is better than everyone, so obviously his sister too. Judging by this, mixed with the fact that he is a female dog within a perky Breton body, mixed with how small he is, mixed with the ridiculous prices of his wares, would you look at the lockpicks? I have come to the conclusion that all along, Bellator was telling the truth, and he would sell you his sister. The reason he wasn't able to do that one time you bought lockpicks was because he already sold her. Debunked. I honestly have way too much time on my hands. So, that was cool, right? Well, that's enough mystery solving for today. The mental capacity it took for me to produce this actually lowered my already small IQ. I'm going to finish now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, just subscribe and stuff, you know the gist. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.